Whether you've been in Spain for 6 months or 6 years, don't miss Pellicer and Heredia in conversation with Moody on BayRadio every other Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pellicer and Heredia are your international lawyers on the Costa Blanca and have been looking after the expat community for more than a decade. See more at alicantelawyers.es.
As previously advertised, a Wednesday where we have Ignacio in from Pellicer and Heredia, our abogados on the Costa Blanca. Good morning, welcome back.
Good morning. I made it on time, Moody, today.
Yes, it was good time. Yes, perfect.
No traffic.
No, well, it's as I say, you take your chances when you come in on the motorway and all of that. So I know you have to make the journey here, but I mean, the rest of the day you'll be having meetings up this way.
Today, I have it today. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So it all makes sense. I know I wouldn't expect you to come up, especially for this show, however much you enjoy doing it, of course. Yeah. Now I was just going to mention the football here because that's Spain's first game later, right?
That's right. That's right. And we've got the appointment today at 5:00.
Yes. Yes. Where's that appointment? Down the Red Lion in Benidorm. But no, that's So Spain, Costa Rica. It'd be interesting because, as we heard with Cal, that's the young team he's trying out there. Onio Busquets as the sole surviving member of the glory years, as it were. But I think he'll be okay. He'll be all right in that group.
Yeah, I'm positive, but we'll see. You always get surprises like we did have with Argentina, didn't we? Yes,
that was quite a day yesterday. And Leo Messi beaten by Saudi Arabia, and then Cristiano Ronaldo was pretty much out of a job.
I know.
Unemployed. What a day for the two greatest footballers at the moment. Anyway,
you get these surprises once in a while.
Yes, that was quite something. I'll tell you why it happened. It's because I left the show yesterday when it was just about to start the game, saying, if you're going to bet on Saudi Arabia, just come and give me the money now instead. Yeah. That's how much I know about football. I just repeat stuff I've overheard other people saying. Now let's get on to some bits and bobs. Then last time, 2 weeks ago, was Pedro in. Had a good chat about the so-called Nomad Visa, the digital Nomad Visa, which it's mooted. It's likely to go ahead and be going ahead January, the start of next year, much the very start of next year. Yes,
starting. If everything goes according to plan, it should start on the 1st of January 2023. Which is really expected visa. We talk, you and as we've talked all over the year, but that was coming, and it was coming, etc., etc. But now apparently he's going to go through the Senate,
right?
And he's going to be approved. I believe they could include a little bits and pieces, but I think it's pretty much done and dusted. There
were quite a few amendments to it during the process. Quite a lot.
It took a long process, but I think it's going to happen. You see, and for those who do not qualify, because what I could say is that we did update a guide in our website.
Yes.
So they need to go to alicantelawyers.es. Then they need to click on what we do. Immigration and digital Nomad Visa, and then you have questions and answers, and it's up to date today. But if the law change, we'll update that. So it's always a good guide for you to follow. What I was going to say, Moody, is people that might be very good from a tax point of view, right? Because the startups law gives you all these benefits, etc., etc. But the non-lucrative visa, you and me, we always discuss here, that is people working remotely for another countries, for another employers. Yeah?
Yes, outside of Spain.
Outside Spain. And even though the consulate are very, very difficult, saying, oh, no, you cannot work, but the doctrine in courts, especially here, and we have, states that you could work for another company of another country. So the non-lucrative visa is a visa for not to work in Spain for Spanish employers.
Yes.
But the question is, Ignacio, could I work remotely, which a lot of people do, for another company from abroad? Well, the answer is yes. Taxation should be done in Spain, and these visas never had this incentive about the non-lucrative visa, about the Nomad Visa, you see. So this is something we'll have to study. People right in the middle with one visa that they want to jump into the other visa they want to use.
Yeah, it's likely to be more favourable tax rates on the Nomad Visa.
Yes.
So you could switch from doing what you were doing on a lucrative visa to this one. Yeah. If it suits.
If we comply with the requirement, yes.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good because it's helping the community to bring people that are in different countries, which sometimes we think, if with my laptop here, I could be working anywhere else.
Yeah.
And they can make a nice life, bring some money and spend in the shops and economy. and then Spain reduces tax as compensation or like incentive. Let's put it this way. So I think it's excellent, and I think it will turn out very well. And but we'll see. We'll comment that in January.
Yes. Now, this isn't definite, but the only thing I can see is when we talk about your Nomad Visa, I picture some of these young, trendy folk. You get that stereotype, but they will need to be earning a reasonable amount, probably more than €2,000 a month. So it's not going to be for everyone just to be able to come over.
No, they will need to have financial means as well. It's not a visa that is going to. You're not going to be very tight in a budget and be able to come.
No, just getting by.
Yeah, and I assume it's going to be in comparison with the rest of the visa minimum amounts that you need to have. You cannot be here with a low salary.
No.
And no.
Yeah, because other countries have it in place, and some were more than 2,000. So I think the article I read, they'd guess that it would be around probably €2,000 a month, maybe just a little bit more than that. So something to bear in mind for anyone that's thinking, that's for me. You need to be shown some income. I mean, maybe, I don't know if you need a contract from this company you're working for or not, just to show you that you'll have that money coming in. But we shall see. So more updates along the way.
Yeah, that's right. And but I'm positive. It is a law that is going to help more than anything else. It's going to help people moving over. It's going to bring money to the economy. It's going to make their life a bit easier, and the tax obviously much better. So if it suits you, I think people should be looking into it, and if they need to do consultation or speak to you about it, happy to do it, but that will start and come into force on the 1st of January. So until then, this is a little bit pie in the sky.
Yes, so we're kind of finding out as you do. Anything new that comes up, it'll go onto your website, check the blog and what we do and all that. But Spain needed to get it through, didn't they? Because being left behind by places like Portugal's really sort of catching up with all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
People moving now.
Yeah, instead. They were fast because they needed to bring people. I think Spain is a bit more, the golden visa in Portugal is different than the Spanish. It's not 500,000 and it's got different varieties. It's not exactly the same. It could be a bit less money. Pro, I believe is, I don't know if it's 200 or 300,000, but it needs to be in an area that is not being developed. So it's not Algarve, it's not Lisbon.
Right.
So it's got its tricks. It seems like, golden visa in Portugal is better than Spanish. Well, in Spain it's general. In Portugal, the golden visa only qualifies with requirements of different areas.
Yeah, so not the same.
It's not really the same. But anyway, they were fast. I agree.
But they're doing that in Spain, aren't they? Just very quickly, they sort of almost paying people to come and live in some of these towns and villages. They're getting abandoned because everyone's moving away. There's no work.
They're starting to promote the inland properties. And the rural areas where it's less than 100 people registering the patron. Actually, now Comunidad Valenciana, I think, is on the radio as well, an advert about visit all these villages. They call it Ruta 99. It's Route 99.
Yeah.
Go and visit all these. I really don't know much about it. I just listened to it a few days ago. I think they're promoting, I don't know whether you need to spend some, money over there or whatever, but it's a route for to visit all the villages with less than 100 inhabitants or people.
Yeah, because it sounds ideal when you see it advertised. You could buy this whole village for the same price as a decent-sized villa. Yeah. But it comes with its drawbacks because there's not many people there. They don't get the funding, do they? That's the problem. The government money doesn't go there. So it's water and electricity and all that's sometimes a bit of an issue.
Yeah, but I think for entrepreneur people, I think it could be a good option. To bring some money to the economy. If it suits you, there is a gap for you. And nowadays, as you know, with digital things and everything, you could probably have a great property, a great house, even have a business.
Well, that would be first question. What's the internet like there? Because it'll come down to that probably if you're doing that sort of work.
But nowadays, Moody, if you use your mobile with data and these small Wi-Fi devices, probably, even though you don't have the landline, but you might have, what you call it, data, do you?
Yes, you data,
data. So it might work. it depends on the coverage.
Yes, and if you've got unlimited as well, because you can use that up very quickly if you're on caps like 2 or 4 a gig a month. It goes like nobody's business. But it's an option. It's a consideration. It's the way it's going to go, I think. Why wouldn't you? And I'd tell you, if it was me and no neighbours, nice and quiet, I'd be all about that. So like, I come in here and do this, which I can't complain about one bit. Now, we'll play a tune in just a moment. Where are we at with the webinars? Because they sort of went off away from...
Yeah, we just changed it because of appointments. We did have probably Pedro was last week or 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Then last week we did, and people could watch it still in the live TV website. We did one webinar about Nomad Visa.
Yes, you did. That's right. Yeah.
And we did have a lot of questions and answers, which it was very interactive. Is the beautiful thing of the webinar is that people are on the other side. They send you the messages straight away, and within the hour we could answer. So it brings interaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can watch that back on the if you go to the live TV bit on your website.
And we'll be holding another one hopefully next Wednesday. But still, it hasn't been published yet.
No.
So, but just feel free to ask the audience if they want a specific webinar for something. We could consider to bring it on air and doing live. Yeah. Because of topics, some people might be interested, saying, Ignacio, you never spoke about this, and I never thought of it.
Well, you'll know if it's going to be of interest to more than just them. So it's probably worth doing. Yeah.
You never know. Right. So right, Moody. So the next one will be next Wednesday, hopefully 4:30, and for them they could register in the website and just leave their details. So the marketing team will send them an email saying we're going to do the next one, and if they're happy to join, great. If not, they could listen and watch back.
Yeah, so AlicanteLawyers.es, the live TV bits is where you want to go and sign up as soon as you see details of the new one. You haven't given a specific time there. You need to check what football's on first, but next Wednesday, of course.
That's right.
PayThereHeredia.com or AlicanteLawyers.es will get you to the same website where there is plenty there. Even just on the homepage, it goes to, you're in the sections, immigration, taxes, properties, company. In immigration, most of the stuff we've talked about so far today. And details in the blog as well, always worth checking there. Like 400 blogs over there, blog articles covering just about everything that anyone would need to know about living in Spain. I was going to mention our American friend next door talking about being taxed twice. I know with Spain and the UK there's the double taxation treaty, but is that not the same with the US?
Yeah, actually,
it should be.
Actually, as I always say, you shouldn't be paying double. If you pay taxes, you shouldn't be paying double. If you did pay double, that means that something went wrong. Either because probably the two advisors you had, one in the States or one in the UK, one here, did it double, or because probably you overlap with the timings. Sometimes, for example, with the Americans, they need to be very careful because they do lodge it in March, and we do April until June. So I highly recommend them to do the planning before they lodge their income tax return and ask for an extension in the States.
Interesting, yeah.
But not necessarily, because sometimes, depending on the type of revenue, you don't even need to ask for an extension because probably you don't even pay tax. But everybody's different. You see, everybody's got different income. And I highly recommend them to do it together with somebody who could help you with both, or at least advise you what to do. Because if they pay double, that means that they've done the US, for example, and the Spanish, including everything, and shouldn't. Now, asking for that money back is a battle.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It's a paperwork trial and a battle. And the UK and Spain, exactly the same. If you go into our blog, you will click in blog and taxes, and then you'll see dual taxation treaty between UK and Spain. I did upload as well the American, just simple, made it a little bit simple, even though they're always difficult to understand. And I did upload the ones that I have with clients. So we had from Iceland, from the Netherlands. So I tried to upload it for clients so they could understand a little bit how it works. But if you're paying double, or if you think you might be paying double, you need to to ask for advice. That's very important.
Yeah, I think a lot of people out the UK, they're not that used to doing a tax return because when you're an employee, it's taxed at source, PAYE. Yeah. So, but in the US, you have to file your own tax return. Even Homer Simpson has to. I've learnt that from The Simpsons.
Yes. Normally, when we do the tax return, we always ask for a copy of their tax return in the US, even though he's the one before. I mean, the year behind, to help us understanding what are they declaring. And then you need to fill in a form for you to self-assessment declaration to say how much money you're having as an income. And then once you have that, then we could advise, And in the UK, exactly the people who are here, you need to inform the Inland Revenue in the UK that you're no longer a tax resident in the UK. Now, if you haven't done that, they carry on taxing you. Mm-hmm. And then if you declare it here and they carry on taxing you, it's wrong. Because they're taxing you in double.
Or they'll expect you to file a return, and then you'll get, if you don't, then you get the £100 fine, and then it all adds up.
So what I recommend them to do is, first thing, obviously, go with somebody who understands the two systems, and draw a line in the UK or in the States, and put everything in motion. So try, if you're going to live in Spain as a resident, try to make everything as simple as possible. So no tax in your home country, or the minimum as possible, and all the taxes here, because the dual taxation treaties, Spain tax you on your worldwide income, minus whatever is compulsory to be taxed in your home country. So that's why you need to use that. You need to use the two rules.
So, I mean, you say it's probably going to be difficult to reclaim the money. Well, you could try, but don't let it happen again. You get things in place.
Least, yeah. So, because to get the money back, you need to lodge paperwork and asking to get all these money back based on this reason, and they will ask you for everything. They will ask you, okay, prove this, prove the other. If it's clear, go for it. I mean, whether it's going to take 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, that's, but don't do it again, yes.
Yeah. I think, just the one thing quickly, it's not exactly taxes, but if you've left the UK, it might still be worth keeping your state pension going, because you can do that. You can pay the minimum national insurance contribution. It's not a lot. Yeah. If you can keep that up, then you'll be entitled to it still when you retire.
Yes.
So
and then eventually, if you're a resident in Spain, it will be zero tax in the UK, and you will declare the full declaration will be on your state pension here. For example, the ones that will not be taxed will be civil service pension.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so that one will not be taxable, even though it contributes into your marginal rate.
Gotcha.
Okay, so...
Okay, well, it can get quite complicated, as we know, but talk to someone who knows. But details, as I say, of just about anything you'll need to know is on the website, so alicantelawyers.es. Thanks ever so much for your time. As always, good luck to Spain later on.
Okay,
Costa Rica, your opening game.
We'll do our best.
All right. We may see you in 2 weeks. It may be 3 weeks. We'll sort all that out now.
Okay.
We'll hammer it out once we're done on there. Thank you, Ignacio from BayRadio Heredia. See you soon.
BayRadio Heredia are your international lawyers based on the Costa Blanca. We've been assisting expats for over a decade with laws to protect assets and look after your loved ones, and continue to do so in post-Brexit Spain. For advice on tax, wills and inheritance, immigration or real estate, call 965 480 737.